What's up, assholes? Welcome back to the Call to Action podcast. I'm James.
Bonjour.
That is our French correspondent, Paul. Once again, we originally wanted to slate this as a awards episode, but we realized that's incredibly boring for us. So what we're going to do is we are in a Schmodown fantasy league together, and we want to go over our picks, give you suggestions for your fantasy league if you haven't drafted yet, or if you want to make some last-minute pickups and trades, as well as give a preview for the live event that we both watched the live stream of.
Yeah.
But first,
I should also introduce myself just because I said bonjour, because I have the turtleneck and the beard, and apparently I look super European, so there's that.
Very European, yes. But because the awards are a very big thing for the Smiley community, we do want to cover them really quickly. So, Richard, do you have any notes on that?
Well, I think there's only one thing to say about the awards. Andrew Guy, what the hell happened? I mean, I'm super happy.
Well, you know what happened about it.
Yeah, I think Christian even got pissed. Well, no, it wasn't Christian. Who was it that actually threw him off the stage?
Oh, I don't know, but I remember I was listening to Top 10 Show, and Roka was saying that the second Andrew got up there, he walked out. Him and his girlfriend, it wasn't even like an in-character thing. It's like, I do not need to listen to this asshole just talking his ass off and being a showbo, and they just fucking left before any of this stuff happened.
I think it was one of the that's crazy. I think it was one of the team awards which he won for team action, and he was starting to come on the stage. Was his last win, but I think I can't remember if it was Bibiani or someone. It's like, all right, you're done. Like, sit down. The team's not even formed anymore and stuff like that. So
I vaguely remember that. But I think there's also one where it's just like, oh, it's Andrew Guy. No, you don't get it. Just go.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was.
Okay, yeah.
But it was so cool to see him and do all the speeches and pull out the "fuck you, Bateman."
God, I really can't wait because I really want there to be a match between the two of them just to see like the Team Guy and Team Bateman like odds, because I've seen majority Team Guy, but also we're the loud obnoxious ones, revealing my bias. So I'm really curious to see how the numbers weigh out.
Oh yeah, it's gotta happen somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm sure they're gonna do something like on Collision maybe, or build up to a spectacular, but then that's gonna be like a really long wait. And we saw how storylines can turn up when you wait too long, i.e., the Commissioner Bowl, when Dagnino is a fucking letter off.
Oh, Dagnino not winning the Manager of the Year.
Thank God.
I wish he did.
No, I'm tired of his shit enough on its own. I don't need him running the fucking league.
Win a goldfish here.
Yes. Collider Live fans, we are going insane over that fucking clip.
So, but...
Yeah, so fantasy. Richard, do you want to give us like some backlog? Because we were in the same league last year. Do you want to talk about like how it went down?
Yeah, last year, I think we were in 2 leagues together, actually.
No,
we were in one of them. Okay. Because I was in 3 leagues. One of them I gave up on very early on, and the other 2 was the Action Army Fantasy League, and the other one was one that me and Jack ran together. That one I actually won. I won that one. Well, actually, it was more me, Paul, and Jack, because Paul's the spreadsheet guy. He does all the math whiz stuff. He does the points and everything. But yeah, I won one of the leagues, and I can't remember where I ranked in the Action Army. I think it was 3rd or 4th.
I know Jack got first in ours, but also we kicked him out about like 3/4 of the way through.
Oh.
It's Jack. What do you expect?
People are mixed on him.
Yeah, and I ranked very low. I can't remember a specific reason why. I might have had it might have been top 10 actually that like sort of ruined me, because I picked them very early on, and they had the amazing match against Top That, and then the shit match that was the Patriots, and I don't think they actually did anything after that until Founding Fathers came about.
Yeah, interesting thing about the league that I won that you weren't in. I actually, well, that goes a little bit into my strategy when I'm drafting also, but I had two teams. I picked the Patriots and top 10. Those were my two teams going into last season, and these are like
the collision.
those. Yeah, but that was the beginning of the season. They racked so many points for me. The first match was between the Patriots and top 10, the team match between them. One of the first matches, and they got me loads of points. And when eventually the Patriots lost and top 10 wasn't a team anymore, but I jumped on the boat where I could trade top 10 for Bateman before the anarchy.
Wait, so you mean Bateman plus one or just in general?
Just Bateman, because I was like, I don't care. I think top 10 is through. I just had a feeling. I'm gonna do like a gut instinct trade, and it paid off because top 10 isn't a thing, and Bateman went on a crazy roll. So it was, and I can't remember what my other team was, but yeah, I had. I'm forgetting. But yeah, anyway, it was. Yeah.
I don't think. Okay, I was like, did anyone take Founding Fathers? Because I was fucking ready to jump on that.
I had them in the league that I talked about. Yeah. That was the one I had.
We're sort of getting off track. So, Richard, do you want to list your? First of all, I am one of the I don't know if it's admins. Basically, I'm just one of the people who
co-commission.
Yeah, we're co-commissions. We co-run the league. Our rules are, I think, fairly standard. We have 5 singles competitors and 2 teams, 1 champ per each, and I think it's like the only like really important part. We also have a snake draft, so it gets like 2 every once in a while. But yeah, so Richard, who was your 7?
So you mean my first pick?
No, like who's the 7 things you got, whatever.
First of all, do you remember what was our draft order? Because I think
I actually have that still.
I think I went back-to-back picks because I think I was the last one, and my first 2 picks.
It was so just like who's in the league with us. If you want to tell them like, hey, get rid of these players because I want James to win. Thank you. It's Drew Rieger, me, Nat Vu, who was also on the show with us, Oscar Romo, who was our correspondent at the 3rd LA Live show, Paul Denuzzo, who's on the show, and then Richard. So yeah, you got 2.
Yeah. So yeah, my first 2 picks, I'm gonna pitch them together because that's one of the strategies is how I draft is. The first thing I try to do is get both team slots filled. Because I have a feeling the teams are usually the harder ones to well, there aren't that many good teams. So my 2 picks were Shire Wolves and Corruption.
Oh, you bitch.
So that was because I always remember I started sweating about teams, like the past drafts I had, like pick the teams and then you can go with singles, mix them up, do whatever on the fly.
I 100% agree because my first draft last season in the Call to Action League, which you weren't a part of yet, was the Shire Wolves because I was just fucking ready. Actually, no, my first draft was Rachel Cushing. My second draft was Shire Wolves. Before the team was even formed, I was just fucking ready to get on that train. And it carried me to like 100 points in first place. And then the league fucking stopped at free-for-all because I actually couldn't be asked to like compulate, I think it's the word, all those points. Compute? I'm trying to be too smart for my own good.
So yeah, Shire Wolves and Corruption. Yeah, and the league that I won, I did the same strategy. I picked 2 teams, so I'm kind of trying to continue that thread this season. So yeah, do you want to do yours or shall I go?
Just hit your other 5.
All right. So my next 2 picks singles were Dan Merle and Mark Riley. Then I picked up.
Was Dan a 3rd round pick?
I think so. I think so. There were some crazy picks.
God damn it! That's why I'm gonna lose because I didn't fucking pick Dan Merle.
Yeah, but thinking about Dan, like, yeah, he has the live event But aside from that, we all saw what happened to Mara. I think Mara could be a big factor in how much Dan plays. And I'm a bit nervous about picking him, to be honest.
There's also, because she said that she might return eventually, she just needed a break because she got too invested in it.
All right. Well, still, it's kind of a risky pick because I had some worries about him. And well, picking Mark Riley, I don't know. I think he was. I just had my spreadsheet in front of me, and he was the next up, and he hasn't done much in singles for a while, I think. But he probably has a match lined up real soon, so I think he's one of the legends of the game. He's Yodi. Can't go wrong with him. Well, that's in mirror. What's that? All right. I got it.
Yeah, I was just.
Was that a speech you were going for? You had a speech and you like, fuck you.
Oh man, I need to say fuck you, Richard. But no, I was running back on here with a friend the other day, and it's just a fun thing to do.
I wish you would have written it in mirror.
What do you mean in mirror?
That would have been a genius move.
Oh man, shit.
But yeah, my next two. Well, I'll just go one by one. Is Whitney Seibold? I've been listening to Critically Acclaimed, and I've heard he's going into singles pretty hard this season.
I'm not sure about hard, but he's definitely going into it.
Yeah, well, that's the notion I got from him and Bibbs when they were discussing the Schmodown, and I think Christian has mentioned it a couple of times. So I think well, he can do pretty well in singles if he's given the chance. So I think that's a pretty good pick. That's my fifth pick. Considering I think Seibold is a very good pick. And well, after that,
here you go. You're welcome.
Noix oof. Yeah. Now I was reading it backwards. Nametab.
Oui.
Well, anyway. Oh yeah, and the next two are sort of just. Well, last round picks, I got Jared Habon and Brendan Meyer. Yeah. Jared was pretty good. Jared's
really good. It's just whether or not he plays a lot because he's sort of busy, being hot.
But he's also super cool.
Well, he's also on Bachelor Island or whatever the hell the show is called. So I'm not sure how much his filming time actually takes up his other filming time, which we know about from our boy Andrew Guy. Which we also know from me. But Andrew Guy fan page. Because we hear a lot of stuff on that.
Andrew Guy appreciation page.
It's like Andrew stole the password. I figured out it was Ben sucks. I'd usually get a message to you, the people.
Oh, so good. And Andrew had this crazy TV show that he did. So that's going to be exciting.
I can't wait for that to come out, mostly because I want to see how good of an actor he is.
Oh, yeah. And he actually had a movie as well. It's still in post-production. I think it wrapped almost 1.5 years ago.
Damn.
Yeah. It was actually pretty cool. And he's playing a character named Detective Ethan Johnson. If that's not a kick-ass name, I don't know what.
That's a fucking white boy name that I've ever heard of.
But it's a really cool action movie name.
What was it?
Ethan Johnson. And the movie is called Bloody Eyes. If
it's Ethan Johnson, it's not like a middle name where it's like Ethan Roundhouse Johnson.
No. But yeah, these are my picks. Merle, Riley, Seibold. I can't say his name. Seibold.
Yeah.
Haben, Meyer. Oh yeah, Brendan Meyer. So that's the kid from The Away, right?
I think so, but also you got very unlucky because he's going up against Paul.
Yeah. No. That was a conscious choice just to get early points.
Yeah. Well, so let me just say it like this. I'm not sure if you're aware of, but Paul basically got here from being in Full Metal Trivia, which is the league I competed in, which is why I have this here ready. The questions in there are so let's phrase it like this. In the live show that I watched, playing along with the championship match, I got like a 75% correct. In Full Metal Trivia, I would get about maybe 55% correct. The questions there are a hell of a lot harder. And the fact that Paul went 3-0 and kept the championship, that says a lot for his ability.
I should get more into the fan leagues. I was up to
It's a lot of
at
fun.
some point, but I fell off.
When I was like, I'm in a faction with I can't say who yet because it's going to be a big reveal, but I'm in a faction there, and just like working with them, quizzing each other, doing character work, it's a hell of a lot of fun. I would recommend it to anyone if you get to have the time. But yeah, and that was all at year 4 or 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, Brendan. Oh yeah, but also one of the reasons why I'm feeling kind of confident. I don't think he's gonna. What's that? I don't think he's gonna win against Oyama.
No, he's not.
But he had very good insights about the game. He said, like, he really knew what the Schmodown was, and I've gotten the impression that he's been at a lot of the matches. And he talked about like anyone can win. It's not about trivia all the time. It's about like how lucky you get on the wheel and everything. And he went way deeper than I'm describing now, but he sounded like he knows a lot. And he knew his chances.
Speaking
so even if he loses that one, I think he could rack up some nice fantasy points.
I don't know, because like we haven't seen much of Bonnie Somerville since she lost to Janine. So like if you're 0-1 in anything besides Inner Geekdom, you really don't have a chance of playing again.
He's a really big fan, so I think he wants to be there, and he's going to get the opportunity. So
I really
feel quite confident.
Yeah, it's just I'm concerned more than anything else.
Whoever loses that match will play again. Yeah, we don't know anything really. Yeah. But yeah, these are my picks. What are yours? And do you want to like start off with your strategy, or do you want to just go into your picks?
As you guys heard, I was the second pick. At least I believe I was.
Oh, that's not a good spot to be in, honestly.
I've learned it wasn't, because my teams got fucked. So basically, my biggest thing is I know who the big hitters are, and I want to double up as much as possible. So just to run down my list. In singles, I have Rachel Cushing and Clark Wolf, Mike Kalinowski, Robert Meyer Burnett, and Emma Fife.
Well,
I have basically
sort of a through line in those picks.
I wonder why. And then in my teams, I have Harris Brothers and the Wildberries.
Wildberries.
Yeah. So basically, my mindset was Rachel Cushing is going to do Inner Geekdom and singles. Emma Fife is going to do Inner Geekdom and singles. Burnett might do singles as well as he's going to dominate Inner Geekdom this season. I am certain of that.
Yeah, he's a dark horse pick. Yeah, that's a good pick.
I'm surprised he lasted as long as he did, but at the same time, I'm also really disappointed that I had Emma Fife and no one better to pick. Because nothing against her ability, but her ability isn't that good. And just looking at the available competitors, you're left with people like Bonnie Somerville or Perry Nemiroff, who, if they get a match, that's surprising.
That's true. Yeah, but Fife, you also don't forget like all the manager balls and stuff like that. So
we're only gonna get one, and that's if I hold on to her until December. Because honestly, my full expectation is if some rookie walks in and does a really good job, they're gonna swap him for Fife immediately.
Yeah, I can see that.
Last season my teams weren't much better. I don't remember who they were, but it was also not very good. And that's sort of been my biggest downfall, because teams do get a lot more points.
Teams are the key.
Yeah, I need to put more focus into them. I'm glad I got the Harris brothers. My only concern is Jonathan, because he is not going. I just had a realization. No one has picked up Jonathan Harris yet.
Yeah, but is he going into singles?
I last I heard he is. So let's just message Paul really quick. Trying to
I
do it on the
think
group page.
Paul
What?
might be on. No, he's not online. Never mind.
It's not. What the hell is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
If you're wondering why I'm talking a bit lower, it's because there's a conference next door, so I'm going to be a bit more quieter. But I'm just going to talk like the other guys. What the hell are you guys doing? Do you know this team?
No.
Oh, it's a great one. So yeah, you got
now it's
one of the
actually
champs.
my fifth singles player is actually Jonathan Harris because Emma 5 fucked me last season. I do not want to hold on to her because it's just you have these people who they get in matches and don't play well. Whereas I think if I get John Harris, he's at least going to do something. Because in my mind, he's going to be like the Andrew Guy this season where people don't expect him to do well. Because it's like, oh, he's a lesser on the team. And then he still fucking smokes it. Because he's still getting like 7 points around one. And he's still like really supporting
he's good. But I don't know if he's going to go into singles. Is he confirmed in singles?
Last I heard he was. I forgot when it was. But they were talking about like people in teams who want to step up to singles, like Whitney Seibold and Jonathan Harris.
Mm-hmm. They're very similar competitors, in my opinion.
But it's taking shots. Like before we started recording, we were talking about how I wanted to pick up Guy plus whoever, and swap them for the Wildberries. Because as much as I love them, I'm not sure how much they'll play, and even if they'll get points. Whereas Guy, I know he'll get points, and as long as he doesn't film like a season 2, I should also get a shit ton of points from him.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the running joke with the Wildberries has been that they.
No, I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, Richard, there is a team I can pick up.
Are you gonna say what it is?
I'm not going to because I don't want to do anything bad. But there is a team I can pick up.
All right. Well, there's a few hanging around, yeah. But about Wildberries, it's been like an ongoing like joke that they're just there for the poops and giggles, right? But it sort of seems like they're
doing a lot better.
They get a lot of matches, but I think that train is starting to slow down because they used to like get upsets and they would actually defeat someone, but I think now they're sort of becoming too big of a joke for themselves. Like points wise and winning matches wise, I feel like they're going to be part of exhibition matches. But
I think Roxy pointed it out on Collider Live, where there's a lot of people who just like meander in the middle, and Wildberries do that. But they carry such a personality that removing them from the conversation would break the fans' hearts because they beat they beat the Kingsmen, they beat the Real Rejects, and then talking about meandering in the middle. That's people who are getting title shots right now. You have Scream Queens and World's Finest, and despite their accuracy rate particularly acclaimed, the records are very middling. Like, what are you going to do? Because all these 2-1 teams are getting title shots right now. You can put them against Founding Fathers or Corruption. They don't have anyone to face currently. If they want to face a new team like Guy Plus One or maybe the Paddington 2 or War Machine with Janine and whatever his face is, they do that. But a lot of those teams don't currently exist. Or if they do, they're pretty much retired, like Late at the Party.
Yeah.
It's sad. Yeah, we won't see them for a while, which is why that revelation that I had, I think, is very important to my overall score.
Yeah, and you're talking about Guy Plus One. I think Guy's gonna have someone like really big on his team. It's gonna be someone who's gonna make him and them as a team someone who could potentially take down Who's the Boss.
I would love to see that match, but you need someone to have him on the reins, and I'm not sure who would. The two biggest names I saw thrown around were JDE and Harloff.
There's another big one.
Who?
Well, I'm not gonna say. I can't say. I don't know, but I can't say.
There's a live event.
Sorry?
Is it related to the live event?
It could be.
I
Yeah,
don't remember anything
it
from
could be.
that.
I'm just not
Yeah,
gonna say anything at this point. But
yeah, just
yeah,
to be safe, I understand. But also, I think with again, this is just look forward to Friday. With what is set up at the live event, there is the distinct possibility of Harloff and Guy,
I
which I
cannot see
would
that happening, but I would love it.
love.
Yeah, same.
Once the call ends, I can talk to you about it. But I think it's like this astounding possibility that would fucking be amazing. And because we're like, I think Christian knows it as well because he did the Patreon match with Ellis. He did the Commissioner Bowl, and he's also doing the Patreon match against the Patriots. I think there's like a very real possibility that he's planning to come back in the league, and a teammate of Guy could be that avenue. And if it is,
Now that you mention it, I'm seeing it more and more. Because it's sort of like it could work as the same way as Who's the Boss is like Mark Riley was the one who was trying to hold Ben back. So I apologize for him. Like Guy would be like all out blazing guns, and Harloff would.
No, it just be like Guy be like, I'm back, I'm the goat killer, motherfucker. You cannot stop. Christian's just like, I'm fucking stuck with you. What do we do? I gave my power away to MF5, and now I'm stuck here with this walking fucking wind-up toy. What do you want me to do? And Andrew's like, you know what you want me? Pound the cane! And he just fucking walks out. But also, like, it was coming up in the Facebook page, I think a couple weeks ago, the entrance of Schmoes versus Box Office Breakdown, where Christian comes out with a mic, and he's like, who do you expect to lose? The Schmoes or the man who can't say Guillermo del Toro? The one who goes to Jurassic Parks who wants to see a Triceratops titty tops? Can you smell like that? Harloff paired with our Andrew could be an amazing pairing for the ages. So I could get a noise complaint any minute now, so I got to be quiet.
Yeah, well, same here. So it's gonna be a whispering episode.
Well, now you see what we do is we turn the gain on this all the way up, and it can turn into an ASMR podcast. But when
You're at midnight with Richard and James. Stay on the line.
I remove the pop filter so everything sounds very sensual. I love screwing around with that. It is so fun.
It looks cool, man.
It's a little bit too fun because it's definitely weird for people listening, but it's just fun to have that sort of avenue. Just like I can change things up at any moment until they turn very just smooth.
And it's a cool thing you got there.
Also, I shouldn't move this close because you can see how it's shaped in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, but see, you can actually grow shit. Mine is just really not patchy, but just like it's very just.
Maybe you can grow an awesome neck beard.
No. Neck beards are awful.
I know. Well, so that's Harris Bros. We haven't really we got into Jonathan, but Harris Bros. I think it's gonna another potential.
It's difficult because
candidate for the belt.
Technically, they're just 1-1. But also, just to give the point of Jonathan Harris playing in singles, him versus JTE could be an amazing match. JTE does well. Andrew Guy comes on, it's just like, damn right, that's my teammate. And if he doesn't do well, then he's just like, fuck you, Christian Harloff, you're my teammate. Like I feel like I'm doing like Power Rangers, just like, or anime, just like, you will join me, we will take over the world. God, yeah. So I think just in general, the existence of the Harris brothers provides a lot of like really interesting storyline. I don't know who they're facing. I know they have a match confirmed. So like the teams I know are actually I can just fucking check the website. I'm stupid. See, I just vamp a bit.
No, I had a call come in. I just muted it.
We're both. Oh no! Oh, dead air.
Oh well. When I'm looking at the sheet, what we drafted in our other league, there is a few names on here that we didn't draft in this one. So one of them being David Del Rio and Liz Shannon Miller. I don't know if those names are.
I don't know. No. Okay, so
Okay.
here's the confirmed team matches. You have Critically Acclaimed versus Harris Brothers, which is going to be very interesting.
Very balanced team.
Shit. Holy shit! Nothing else confirmed, and I thought I saw something else like soft confirmed by Christian on Twitter or some shit. Wow. Okay. Never mind. I know the Scream Queens, Odd Couple, and someone else had a match confirmed for early this season. So probably somewhere in March, looking at the schedule we have. But yeah, so I have a match in February at least, and we'll see then if they like are a powerhouse or not, because I really want Critically Acclaimed to do well, but also fantasy, and I'm very competitive.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, what are you expecting of Kalinowski this season?
I don't know, because that was a concern I wanted to relay onto the Five Club, was that I'm not sure, because in the past we've seen storylines just peter out very quickly. Look at Christian Harloff's Revenge Tour and how he immediately lost the belt. I worry that the Five Club, if they don't innovate and try to change things, then they are going to consistently lose, purely because of or at least the storylines won't make them interesting, so they get less matches if they lose. And with Kalinowski, I feel like his big corruption is done for the most part, at least. And knowing he's a puppet, I feel like the only way they can evolve it if he does buy into the concept of he was being used for Christian's gain, and like if he has like headbutts with Christian, that could be something, but that would require them both to like be active in singles again.
But he sort of has bounced back pretty well from like him being used. Well, it doesn't show, and he has to act it up, of course. But
we say that knowing what happens at the live show. So to the general populace, they don't know how that's done. But I think, because obviously, like storylines are set. We know Burnett's coming back with something big. We know something big is happening with Guy, and something else very big was set up at the live show that I don't want to give away. But there is a possibility of something bigger coming, something a lot bigger. Not to mention, there's still the idea of the fifth horseman.
So that was another thing. Yeah. Do you think Bateman's going to be inducted into the Horsemen?
I think so. Because my bias would fully just lean into it. Like, no, there's no way he would do it. All this bullshit behind the scenes stuff would never happen. But then you get the Team Action Patreon vid when Bennett was on, and he called Roca a great guy, which he had never done, even out of character. So that's just the damning evidence for me. If he's not the fifth horseman, I think he's going to be very close to consideration. It would really come down to maybe in his eventual match with Andrew, it would be if he wins, he's the fifth horseman. That way, they're going into it you've proven yourself. You've taken down the fucking rat who keeps following us. Here's your title.
Do you think it's possible that Ben and Drew splitting up, being a part of the storyline, that Ben is going to try to take down the Horsemen from the inside and it's all a ruse?
God, I would fucking love that. I would love that so much. I don't think he would go through a coffee table for that.
I think he would, because it seems something they would love to do.
I think if Who's the Boss gets 3 losses in a row, maybe even just 2, I think that storyline to get set in place, where it could be how do I say it? Say I think the next maybe it would be, I think the next match is going to be against Scream Queens, or it's either Scream Queens or Paddington 2, because it's someone who has a good shot. Whoever wins that gets a title shot. From there,
who's in the Scream Queens? Remind me who's in the Scream Queens.
Haley, Fouch, and the other girl, the 2 horror people.
Okay.
Yeah. Assuming maybe they beat them, which is basically what you guarantee. They go to Shire Wolves and lose again, and then maybe the next match is Corruption or Founding Fathers, and they lose again. I think from there is when you start to see this disassembling of Who's the Boss, and then instead of just a Ben yeah, I got you, Riley. It's Yeah, I got you. And then it's like, then he starts disassembling. What are you laughing about, bitch?
No, no, no. I love it. I like what you're saying, and
Yeah,
it's quite early for me. So forgive me for yawning.
it's
It's
quite
not.
late for
It's
me.
not because you're boring. I'm just super tired.
Yeah. Well, I think if you do that, it could be really interesting, but it would be like a spectacular event. Whereas I think like, the second loss would probably come around like right before Collision. So maybe at Collision, who's the boss could face like another not doing great team, or even Guy plus one. And from there, it would like be decided about who would like maybe Ben's in the horseman already, and she's like, man, you're not doing great. It's like, just give me another chance, man. I got this. I can do this. And they do like a singles match against someone, and then he starts like going after Horseman of just like doing the counthouse thing, basically like, yo, he said you're a bitch, Riley. He's like, the fuck you say to me, and just starts fucking throwing hands at Roka.
And it could also work if Ben and Who's the Boss are doing great, because that way he sort of wins their trust more, gets more into the inner circle, and tries to
Yeah,
like
but
break
Harloff
things.
or whoever's writing storylines, they wouldn't disassemble a team who's doing great. Or also, I think we're just discounting if Inman starts losing, he could also just step down, and then Dagnino could take his place, so that all of Who's the Boss can get in there. And if
Yeah,
Dagnino like
Inman.
really like gets his reins in, and John Roca checks his ego, he could also just be the faction manager and become part of the Founding Fathers, which I don't want. But I also just don't want Roca, or I also don't want Roca. I don't want Finstock in general. So it's a little bit weird for me to pitch, but I could sort of see it happening if Dagnino just like Roca checks his ego because he has a particular style he likes to do. If he steps back and takes a more face approach to his absurdity, could almost be possible. It's very difficult.
That's a good thing you brought up. Finstock is the dark horse, and the fact that he couldn't get inducted into the Horsemen. It's not his thing. Well, that's also possible that Ben and Riley break off from them.
But
So we don't know.
I think if Ben and Riley break off, there has to be something with Andrew, ideally. But I don't know because it was very intense. And I don't know who Ben's next partner would be. I think Ben and Clark could be a really interesting pairing, but that would require, Shire Wolves.
No, no, no. I meant Ben and Riley break off from the Horsemen as a team.
What do you mean?
Like, well, if they, yeah, well, I sort of mix things up, thinking they're already part of the Horsemen, because that's what it feels like. Yeah, so never mind.
Yeah.
I brain farted.
I think if we got like a mini anarchy again, it'd be fun. Like Perfect World, at least for me. Shire Wolves lose, but critically acclaimed. Their like next match
You
can
wish.
be like, huh?
You wish.
Oh, absolutely. I really fucking hope so. But this is like Perfect World scenario. Shire Wolves lose to critically acclaimed, and then their next match is number one contenders match against Who's the Boss. And then Who's the Boss wins. And then, like, I don't give a shit about like from here. It's just whoever wins the belt, like who the boss would lose, just to get the storyline straight. And then what if they just like Shire Wolves and Who's the Boss just started fucking fighting to the point that they split up, and then Clark joined Ben, and then we got the anarchy fulfillment of Rachel joining Andrew, which would create the best storyline in the entire league.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about the Schmodown is the wins and the losses aren't scripted, so anything can happen, and they have to think of storylines as they go.
Upset of the year
Makes things so difficult, but so interesting.
But it's also, but then you get shit like Top 10 versus Action 2, which had no reason for existing, which screwed over both teams. Because either Top 10 disbands for a year, and they're one of the most popular teams. Or not disbands, they disband forever, I think was the term. Or Team Action is out for 6 months.
Yeah, no one wants that.
Also, they were the biggest up and coming team, so there was no like real smart point in doing that.
Yeah, well,
are we like on a point anymore? Are we just like fangirling about
no, I
shit?
just wanted to actually bring us back to some of the competitors that are not in our league's roster at all. There's a few of the ones I talked about, and it's in the article that Harloff wrote. I think it was on the SD trivia page, talking about the rookies that are coming in. Well, Paul Oyama was on there, Brendan Meyer, and then Liz Shannon and David Del Rio.
Yeah.
Apparently, Liz, I might be saying her name wrong. Liz, there, she had a second name also. Liz Shannon Miller. She's said to be, I don't remember if she was Ethan Irwin's wife.
The friend of Irwin's wife,
No,
who
no. Okay,
they
okay.
claim is better than Ethan.
Exactly, or as good as Ethan. So
Yeah.
as soon as Paul read the article, he immediately picked her up before I could, and I picked up David Del Rio in our league, in the other league.
I think honestly, more than anything, I want to keep an eye out for. Harloff said on Twitter like a while ago that he auditioned a Star Wars player who very well could take the belt.
Oh, we need a good Star Wars player so badly.
Because it's going to be like a 2-horse race the entire time. So Whitworth comes in and becomes a 3-horse race. Getting new blood in Star Wars, I think, is the thing that saves it from being a exhibition only league or even just like a Patreon only league. Which actually basically is
Damon is too good. He's so good.
Was like,
we need Whitworth versus Damon to happen.
Well, to my understanding, that should be happening at Star Wars Celebration in Chicago.
Oh, perfect.
But also just
at Celebration.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because like the big impetus for Star Wars was 2 years ago at Celebration when Campia won the belt. I think it was Campia.
Oh right.
Also, we should just set a time for you to fly out to LA. I think in like August or something. That's when their second live show is there. They have the free for all in March, which is slated for March 25th or 23rd, I think, somewhere around there. But then like there's a separate live show which we start saving up money to go fucking fly there. And then me and I actually can just crash and just be like, hey, I'm not going to the match because fuck it, but what's up?
I'm actually going to the States in September for the first time. But I'll be going to New York.
Is there a reason September?
Just good, taking a trip. Got a good deal on the flights, and yeah, I've never been there, so it's a slim chance that there's a live event happening.
Did you already buy the tickets?
Yeah.
Shit, because last I heard from Harloff, their second live show in New York is going to be in August.
Man, I think I heard something as well.
Yeah, so maybe you want to sell your tickets and then buy them for August.
Can't really. I wish I could.
But also, school won't be in session yet, so Michael at his college will also be free, so you can get him down from Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Paul's kids wouldn't be in school yet, so that'd also be tough.
No, I'm gonna be meeting up with Dinuza when I go there. You
absolutely should.
We already made it a plan.
Yeah, I really hope we can get like an in-person recording thing.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet, but like, we need just Danny, Nat, and Paul to just meet up. But apparently, I don't know. Whatever. We are way off course.
Yeah, fantasy.
Okay, so just because we wanted to do a short episode this week, is there anything you wanted to add on before we cut it off?
Not really. Do all your fantasies and show. Yeah, we'll draft.
Yeah. So like basically, if you guys haven't drafted yet, and you're in a league or you want to be in a league, recommendations: go for teams immediately, and keep an eye on the newbies because they have a lot of hype behind them. And the newbies we had last year were Irwin, Ellison, and Janine. And other people I'm missing. But those three have dominated a lot of the league this season. So never discount newbies.
Definitely.
Yes. And just to if you guys want to comment below and say who you think has the best team, I'm going to run through our 6 people and let you know what they have in case you want to play along. Paul has Bibiani, Ellison, Harris, Inman, and then Halavic. And his 2 teams are Who's the Boss and World's Finest. Which, looking at him, he probably has a dominant team. You already heard me and Richards. Nat has Ethan Irwin, Paul Oyama, JTE, Stacey Howard, Josh McCouga, and his 2 teams are critically acclaimed in Paddington 2. Drew has Andrew Guy, Mark Andreyko, Drew McWeeny, Jeff Snyder, and Mark Bernardin. And his 2 teams are Odd Couple and Scream Queens. And
His first pick was Andrew Guy.
That I don't want to be like rude, especially on our kayfabe heavy show, but that was a wasted first pick. Because like, we don't know how much time
I think it's ballsy. I like it.
Like a 2nd round pick, go right ahead. But again, fucking Nat 2nd round pick was Paulo Yama, who'd never played before, so I don't know what the fuck's going on here. And then Oscar for his 5 were Ben, Roca, Janine, Donica, and Damon. And his 2 teams are Founding Fathers and Take the Cannoli.
Yeah, Donica and Take the Cannoli probably. Well, Take the Cannoli. Who's in that? Remind me.
Take the Cannoli is McWeeny and Chandler.
All right. So that could happen potentially.
Well, if you saw like the Patreon retirement bit, Brienne said that she's not discounting teams yet, and she did have a very fun time playing with McWeeny. So it's a possibility. Plus, they tied the all-time teams record against someone who scored 30 points on the round. They should not be forgotten. And they tied the all-time points record in a 3-round game. This is excluding like a 5-round match.
Yeah, they could be good, but I don't think they're gonna be very active even if they do play.
I mean, who do they lose to? Like, who's the boss?
I can't remember.
No, that was Cinemaniacs.
That was on the other side. Yeah.
So they would have lost to Corruption. No, Odd Couple.
Yeah. And Donica doesn't. I don't know if he's going to play this season.
Donica was at the awards last I heard, so he should be back. Plus, there are multiple number 1 contender matches for Inner Geekdom next month.
He should do Star Wars as well.
Maybe. I don't think he could, because Star Wars is a very tough league to like.
Yeah, but he ran the podcast with Knapsack and Scrimshaw back in the day when he was
has to. I think I don't want to be rude to him, but Scrimshaw is probably the base level of quality required, because Scrimshaw can still like study and learn and maybe get the belt. If you are below Scrimshaw, you're then below Knapsack, Whitwer, and Damon, who could very easily get a perfect game.
I still think he could do it, but yeah, probably not on Damon's level, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, so Donica could. I think he played a decent game against Kalinowski, but he also admitted afterwards it was a very off day for him. I wouldn't mind giving him a number 1 contenders match against someone very good, like maybe Donica versus Hlavik, because Hlavik got to the final, got to semifinals with Kalinowski, or maybe against Cushing. I think Cushing is guaranteed a number 1 contenders match.
Yeah, Inman could be also a good match for him.
Yeah. So yeah, the guaranteed 3 for number 1 contender shot are Cushing, Inman, and Hlavik, I think. And then the 4th one is like a crapshoot. I would like to see Donica. It might be Navarro if storyline can wiggle him in there. Maybe Navarro, not Navarro.
R&B is coming in.
My brain just farted. So Burnett could squeeze in with storyline, or Navarro could get him because he's a past champ. I think having Johns would be a fun little like.
Yeah, but he can't be in. He doesn't live in LA, right?
No, he's in Seattle.
Yeah.
I think there should be like some opportunity there. Maybe Jared could get in. Inner Geekdom has a lot of people who could be in a number 1 contenders match, but the tournament sort of screwed that up. That's because Kalinowski took out 2 of the top contenders with a TKO.
Yeah.
So, if I had to guess, it's probably Inman versus Donica, and then Cushing versus Hlavik for the 4. And then top 2 get a number 1 contenders match, and then next one pre-collision.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a good one. Can't wait for this season to really kick off.
I forgot what it felt like to not have the Schmodown, because like last year around this time, like I didn't have the show. I was actually planning the show. That was like my big energy focus. So like the fact that we're now like in it and I'm waiting not only to create but also just to analyze heavily. It's like it's this very like I feel something is lacking. Also, I wear my shirts all the fucking time, and I just look down like there's nothing to watch this week. But yeah, so that's our show this week. We did whatever. Richard, do you have anything to plug?
Well, you can find me anywhere at Richard Eric Charby, Eric with a K. And the Action Movie Anatomy fan page on Facebook has been named All About Action. So it's dedicated to Ben and Andrew, who do the Action Movie Anatomy and the Action Guys podcast. So that's under a new name now. It's like two shows are brought into the one group. So check that out.
I am on Twitter at Temecula Film Guy. That is at TEMECULA Film Guy. If you want to find me doing the trivia thing, I'm not going to get up and show you because it's too far. But I competed in trivia on Full Metal Classic. Feel free to look that up. It was a wonderful time for a wonderful cause. A fellow Schmodown fan, Nico Suave Regolia, had his father pass away last year, I think, or the year prior, and they was doing a fundraiser for cancer research, I believe. Just check the match out. Hopefully you can donate to the cause. Otherwise, just watch it and have fun, play along, realize how bullshit the questions are, because I'm really fucking pissed at the questions I got.
I'm gonna check it out.
Fuck, sorry. I was very intense earlier. My throat shot. And no real special thing going on. Obviously, Action Movie Anatomy fan page or Action Army Patreon also.
And the All About Action is now the Action Movie Anatomy fan page.
Nothing has been posted on the Andrew Guy appreciation page.
Yeah,
hopefully something comes out soon because we haven't got anything since January. It is June.
Yeah.
We haven't received anything since January 3rd. So hopefully we can get something done. I'm really missing that kind of content, even if it's just like, anything. I'm desperate for content.
Same here.
Yeah, and sorry for being such a weird fucking show this week. Hope you guys like it. And we will be back in the full swing next week with our live show recap. And ideally, we had two members there, Paul and Nat. Hopefully we get their perspective at the live atmosphere. See you fuckers next week.
Au revoir.